What if everything you've been told about being successful is a lie? What if it wasn't such a hard struggle of keep on grinding and hustling to be successful? What if actually it was a lot easier than being a failure? What if I told you you can train your subconscious brain to do the work for you so that you don't have to continually think about all the things you need to do, and it can become like a habit, something that you naturally do without even thinking. Now, what things do you do every day that are like a habit? Do you wake up and start brushing your teeth without even realizing it? Do you wash your hands after you go to the bathroom without thinking about what you're actually doing? You just subconsciously do it. Our subconscious is in charge of over 90% of the things we do every day. We're walking, we're breathing, we're doing all these things that it's been programmed to do. So today we're going to talk about how we can program it to do the things we need to create success. Have you ever gotten a new car and you realize that you see a lot more cars than you ever thought possible of the car that you got? When I got my white Dodge minivan, I noticed there was a ton of white Dodge minivans everywhere, and I began to wonder if everyone else was driving one too. But it's not. You actually become conscious of things that you're looking for, things that are different. There were always all those white minivans on the road. I just had become conscious of them. Now, what do white minivans have anything to do with about being successful? Well, not much, depending on who you're talking to. But today we're going to talk about how those white minivans and actually being able to see them and being aware of them is just the same as when you're aware of certain principles of success. Once you become aware of a certain mindset and you start thinking a certain way, you will see more and more ways to be successful. It will become almost like a habit of doing certain things to become successful and to see certain patterns. Have you ever seen the movie What About Bob? In this movie, there's this therapist that's helping Bob, and he tells him, instead of doing these big, hard things that are scary for you, just do baby steps. Baby steps to the elevator. If you haven't seen it, take a minute and watch it. We as humans, when we have a huge, big goal, sometimes it doesn't feel very inspiring. Sometimes it just feels daunting and overwhelming. And then we avoid doing it, and we do things like scrolling on social media or wasting time on YouTube. P.S. You're not wasting time now. And for us to really know what to do next, we need a baby step. What we need to do, we need to find what it is today that we can do so that we can get to where we want to get. We're going to start looking for 3 wins every day, 3 small wins. Those are going to be our baby steps. So at night, you're going to find the 3 small wins that you had that day. And sometimes those wins look like failure that you learn from, or things that you didn't act on that you know why you didn't act on them and you know how to fix it. There's a lot of different wins and what they look like, so you're going to get 3 small wins. Then you're going to broadcast those 3 small wins for the next day, what you're planning on doing. 3 is a really nice number because it doesn't overwhelm your brain capacity. You can easily remember that many, and it feels very doable. Crazy thing that's going to start happening once you find these 3 small wins and you're broadcasting these 3 small wins you're going to have the next day, your brain is going to naturally find ways to have more wins. Some of the wins that you broadcast are going to become better. You're going to do more than you thought you could. You're going to be able to have ideas of how to make it even better, how to reach more people, how to make more money. All the things are going to start to grow because that is what you're focusing on, because your subconscious brain is focusing on those wins. It is going to find more. Much like when we talked about before, once you are starting to look for white minivans, you will start seeing more white minivans. When you start to look for wins in your life and what is going well, you're going to create more of what is going well in your life. You just can't help it. So what does this look like in action? So the other week, I did a sales pitch to a potential client. I really wanted to sell this person into my program. not only for my own benefit, because I knew that they would be a perfect match and I knew I could really help them, which I just get excited about even talking about it. And that person was not able to join my program. They did not have the money. I could have taken that as a loss. I could have beat myself up about it. I could have found reasons that maybe I didn't do something right or blah, blah, blah. I could have kept going all day long about the negative, but I turned that into a win because I'm of the mindset that I'm always looking for wins. And so I found wins. I had another friend go over my sell video and give me a couple pointers or things that he found that I could have given more information on. I have a list of things to add to it to make it better. Every time you take a situation like that and you turn it into a win, your brain makes more wins. It's not afraid of failing nearly as much as it was before. And you will get more and more comfortable in having those small failures that you turn into wins, and then you can really grow. Because making one sell on a video call is not really a big deal. It's not going to help me grow that much. It's just going to be a sell. But when you don't make the sell and you're able to turn it into a learning experience and you're able to find multiple things that you can do to get better, that is a huge win. Because now, when I have another call, I'm going to be able to make that sell so much better. And I'm going to be able to help my client even better. Like, it's going to elevate everything. So when you're looking for wins, make sure you look under the rocks and make sure you look under those things that might, from the outside, look like failure. How are you going to make these 3 wins be a permanent place in your life? How are you really going to make yourself do it? So I would suggest getting an accountability partner. Someone else who is highly motivated for being successful, that really wants to do certain things in their life that you could be accountable to. You could both text each other every night and say what your 3 wins were and what you're broadcasting your 3 wins will be the next day. It can be super simple, super quick. You don't even have to explain what it means. Just say, have a sales call. You don't need to go into a lot of detail, and you guys can be your own accountability. I love using accountability partners because it gives you someone else who's counting on you. They're counting on you to have a win, and you're counting on them to do the work too. And you're working together, and it makes your work more meaningful. It makes you want to please them, even though they're not necessarily judging. You're not even paying them for helping you. But we as humans, we want to please other people. We want to not let them down. And so we're going to put in more energy to actually be consistent. So I'd love to know, who are you going to ask to be your accountability partner? When are you going to start having your 3 little wins every day? I would encourage you to start today. Even if it takes you a day or 2 to get an accountability partner, start today. Start to have 3 little wins every day. Start to look for them. Try to transform even the failures into little wins so that you can keep progressing forward. Because if you have 3 little wins every day, that's 21 a week. Imagine how fast they can grow. Hundreds, thousands of little wins that are going to make big difference in your life. If you would like some more videos on how to train your subconscious brain, please check out the playlist below and let's start training that subconscious so it can start working for us.